Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day to everyone. My name is Muhammad Ismail bin Muhammad Ibrahim with a metric number of 259086. So today I will be presenting my persuasive speech topic of the importance of using public transportation. So as we all know nowadays in our modern generation, as technology is developing itself and population is increasing day by day, we can see it for ourselves that transportation also evolve and the number of transportation also rising every day in many places around the world. This rising number of private vehicle tends to be the cause towards the problem and impact that humanity is dealing with almost every day in our daily life. So due to the increasing number of private vehicle on the road, I have come up with a suggestion. I want to persuade you all about the importance of using public transportation and the benefits of why we should be using public transportation instead of using private vehicle like we usually do daily. So the reasons why I wanted to talk about the importance of using public transportation and persuade and encourage all of you to use public transportation is because that I am also one of the men behind the wheel of public transportation provider. I do grab car for a living when I'm on holidays from schools, and also I am an undergraduate student in Bachelor of Business Administration major in Logistics. So I am quite aware of the importance element of public transportation and what it can benefit us all as the users. So why we should be using public transportation? What are the importance? So one of the importance is to reduce traffic congestion. Second is to reduce household expenses. Third and the lastly point is reduce environment greenhouse emission. So let us go straight to the first point. We should use public transportation often as it can reduce the congestion in the traffic. So, talking from the perspective of data collected from tomtom.com website for Kuala Lumpur traffic report, an average of 37% congestion rate occurred in 2019. That is the amount increased by 1% from 2018, the previous year charts. So, most of the congestion occurred in the morning and in the evening time, where 63% from the morning rush occurred from people rushing to go to work, and 84% from the evening rush occurred when people are get home from work. So, viewing from a larger perspective, public transportation has resulted in the reduction of 865 million hours of travel time from traffic users by using other alternative of moving to places through the use of public transportation or other more alternative. From my perspective point of view, the more the usage of private vehicle, the higher the number of traffic congestion due to so many vehicle on the road. So if people are continuing to use their own vehicle instead of public vehicle, it will cause to an increase in the number of vehicle on the road and directly result to a congestion. So however, the effect of the congestion can be curbed by reducing the number of vehicles on the road. How? The number of vehicles on the road can be reduced and smoothen the traffic if people, us, all of you, acknowledge the benefit and can shift from using private vehicle to public vehicle. So, speaking from my own experience, having the number of vehicles reduced on the road will smoothen and improve the traffic flow on the road that leads to the advantage for our frontliners and emergency vehicles such as ambulance, fire brigade, police and more other agencies. So, as for an example, ambulance can arrive at place, example, from hospital to a patient's house quickly and may stand a chance to save a life if we have a good flow of traffic on the road. Imagine if someone you love or yourself are in a position as a patient who in need for an immediate medical attention. You would pray to God and hope the ambulance to be in place on time to save life. Secondly, we should use public transportation for the benefit of all communities. As per reference to the data collected from Bureau of Labour Statistics (BLS) published via researchgate.net, the data from the Consumer Spending Survey shows an average household saving of about $3,500 will be realized for each reduced car and spending on costs associated to private car alone. So we see there we can save a lot of money and spending to multiple times the money that we use driving in our private vehicle. The use of private vehicle will require an expensive amount of money for maintenance and other extra charges, like when you are on the road you have to pay for tolls and other more expenses, to be exact, such as parking, fuel, tolls and speeding tickets. So based on another collected data from National Travel Survey of 2003 shows that approximately 60% of household spending went for paying necessary items such as food, lodging, income tax and transportation. So as we can see from the figures here, transportation was on the fourth of the least position after food, housing and taxes. So by utilizing public transportation, we will have the option to save our expenses coordinated to such costs of driving private vehicle. All the costs related to using private vehicle can be used for other purposes, such as for household groceries, utility bills and other significant spending that are important for our life. Instead of using it for vehicle, you have other alternative, that is by using public vehicle, and you don't have to spend a lot of money for your private vehicle for the maintenance and other costs associated. Therefore, it is very important for us, the commuters and users of transportation, to use public transportation instead of using private transportation. We can save a lot of our spending and change our expenditures habit through utilizing public transport and cut costs on the necessary spending in using public vehicle. So particularly as a student, myself also, some of us were given our own transportation by our parents to ease our movement through college, but we have to manage our own money and allowance for the need of other users, because our allowance is not that much to spend on a vehicle alone. So the spending on vehicle is expensive, depends on what type of transportation given by your parents. So normally fuel for a car may be up to 50 ringgit per week, that is for the minimum, while 10 ringgit to 15 ringgit per week for motorcycles. So if we do the calculation here, for 14 weeks, total of one semester, that is 700 alone for fuel, excluded other maintenance and other repairs for emergency purposes. So I would like to make a suggestion for myself, also for us students, especially for University Utara Malaysia undergraduate students, to utilize the facility provided by our university, such as the buses provided for movement around the college, around the campus. You can save half of your allowance and use it for other necessary needs. You can go eat other good foods instead of paying fuel for your car. So moving to the third and the last important issues of why we should use public transportation is that it can reduce greenhouse gas emission. So as we all generally know, greenhouse gases is one of the leading factor, the leading cause to a global warming. So what is global warming? Global warming is the increase of temperature that could cause a lot of harm to our natures or to living creatures, such as to the animal or to human ourselves. So proof of a research taken from Conserve Energy Future, it is stated that it only takes us 3 of 8 person using public transportation to cut half of the emission compared to one individual who using private car. So here is where the quotes of "together we can do more" came into effect. The research explained that we can reduce the emission of greenhouse gases to the environment if we contribute to each other, if we work together as a human being to together reduce the greenhouse gases and save our environment. As people move from using private vehicle towards utilizing public transportation, the emission of gases to the atmosphere will decrease. The gas emission from vehicle will still exist, but slowly reduced by the reduction of vehicle contribution from us together on the road, given that everybody is using public transportation. So, however, the situation can be vice versa. It can be 360-degree change if the number of vehicles on the road does not change, instead increasing. In order for the number to be reduced, all road users and transport users have to contribute to each others. We have to realize that we have to contribute to save our environment together. So what we can see here, the importance of using public transportation can directly or either indirectly related to other issues, given that it is positive or negative issues. So in this particular case, it involved global warming as the issues that could affect the environment and other livings. So to be clear here, global warming could affect to climate change that can lead to the rise of temperatures of the atmosphere alone. So when the temperatures of the atmosphere increase, haze will happen, melting of Arctic ice will occur, health issues to the living creatures will happen, non-stop of rainfall and so forth, and other more incidents could happen. So we need to use public transportation instead of private vehicle to reduce the pollution rate, so that we can live healthily and there will be less or possibly zero greenhouse gases emission. Thus, we have to stop global warming by reducing the number of the road vehicle. Seems like we have come to a conclusion, so that is all from me as advice on the importance of using public transportation. So to recap, all the importance and benefit highlighted is that to reduce the traffic congestion, to reduce the household expenses, and also to reduce the environment greenhouse gas emission. All the importance stated are related directly to the environment and also to the society itself. So if you really care about our environment and our move to together change the traffic condition, I really hope you consider the option of using public transportation. And if you really care so much about yourself, about ourselves, about people around, you can make a change and consider using public transportation. We may not see what we can do alone, but together we can do more. And we will appreciate each other when the time comes and things happen. So final suggestion from me, if there are still lack of public transportation, we can use other options such as do carpooling, share our vehicle with others to go places. Together we can change for a better future. That is all from me. Thank you.